Hi everyone, welcome to CCNP Advanced Switching Lab. In this lab, we are going to talk about VLAN, trunk, Ether channel and spanning tree protocol. In this lab, I have two switches and one router. As you see in the diagram, switch number 222, switch number 111 and R9. And there are a couple of interfaces on switches. I'm saying switch number 222 as a VTP server and switch number 111 as a VTP client. And VTP domain name is MANIADV and VTP password is MANIADVANTAGE, the MANIADVANTAGE. And between 30 and 31 I have a trunk, and also Ethernet 1011 belong to VLAN 13. Same way there are two ports belong to VLAN 14 and two ports belong to VLAN 15. And also the Ethernet 33 on switch number 111 also belong to VLAN 15. So VLAN 15 span on multiple interfaces, and there is a router. The router has Ethernet 00, the IP address is 15.15.15.9, and it has a loopback 0, that's kind of an internet 1.2.3.4/32. So technically I would like to ping to the internet from maybe switch 222 or switch 111. Let's see all the conditions. So my advice for you guys is print this diagram or read the condition, then do the lab at once, and at least write down this diagram. And I have conditions defined here. The first one is define the host name for switch 111.222 R9, and on R9 put the IP address on Ethernet 00, and also to configure trunk between both the switches. And also, so we are going to do step by step on this way, whatever you are seeing here. So VTP domain name is MANIADV, VTP password is the MANIADVANTAGE, and I'm telling the switch number 222 is VTP server and 111 is VTP client. So you have to understand, if you want to create a VLAN, it must be VTP server switch. Then I'm telling you to create a couple of VLANs, 4 VLAN, 13, 14, 15 and 666. I'm giving some names. So you have to understand you can create the VLANs only on the switch, which is a VTP server. And also I'm asking you to assign the VLAN to the interfaces. So here, define and assign VLAN to the interfaces, so as per the diagram. Then I'm telling whatever access port in this VLAN 1314 has to be moved immediately forwarding state. So that means you have to enable port fast, Cisco proprietary port fast feature that makes port to forwarding to a port to move to forwarding state immediately in the spanning tree protocol. Then step number 6, I'm telling you to only allow VLAN 13, 14, 15, 666 to go through the trunk link. And also I'm telling you to make VLAN 666 as native VLAN. By default, native VLAN is 1. So guys, what I will do in the step number 1, I think step number 2, I'm asking you to create a trunk link. I'm going to take this one also add to the same trunk link. So that means when I create the trunk, I will say only allow these VLANs, and also I will say native VLAN is 666. So basically, what is native VLAN? There is no plus and minus. It will go untagged through the trunk links. And the command to verify will show interface trunk. So let's see that one in the command lines. And also I'm asking you to check the VLAN status, everything. Then as a step number 8, I'm asking you to create the layer 3 port VLAN 15 on the switch number 222 and assign a default gateway as R9. So technically, if I assign a default gateway of R9, if everything is good, I should be able to ping from switch 222 to this address, as well as I should be able to ping to 1.2.3.4. So when I ping, so it use the default route, it will come to 1.2.3.4, and the router knows how to come to 15, 15, 15. So let's see in a lab environment how it's going to work. Then as step number 10, I'm asking you to enable STP, RSTP on both the switches. So we'll see how to give RSTP only one switch. Then I'm telling switch 111 will be the STP route for all the VLANs. So that's the route. And also I'm telling switch 222 should become secondary route. So that means even if you add any other switches in the future, and I'm not going to use primary secondary command to do this one on switch number 111. I'll be putting priority 0, and also on switch number 222 I'm going to put priority 4096. Then we are going to see what port is. So in switch number 222 there will be a block port for VLAN 15. We'll take example as a VLAN 15. By default, if everything is same, 3.1 and 3.2, okay, 3.1 and 3.2. So by default 3.0 is a root port. There's a typo here. 3.0 is a root port and 3.1 is a block port. I want to change the behavior. Okay, I'm telling you to configure. So you have to configure switch 2 by default 30 is a root port, 31 is a blocking port. I want to change the behavior only by configuring 222. So that means that I'm going to do local decisions. I'm going to play with cost. Then I'm telling you to remove the step number 11 and configure switch number 111 only, achieve the same result. So that means in this case I'm going to play with port priority, guys. So step number 11 and 12, when I do, I'll be a little bit slow down just to look. So from the exam point of view as well as from the concept point of view, the important commands are priority, port priority, and cost. Then finally, after we play with 11 and 12, I want to do LACP bundling. So switch number 11, 111 and 222 trunk interfaces, I have to bundle together using industry standard protocol. It is LACP. And I'm saying switch 111 should be initiating. That means LACP active has to be, mode active must be on switch 111. Switch number 222 should be passively listening. So active, passive. Then when I check the spanning tree protocol, at that time there should not be no blocking port because now is a bundle port. Then in step number 14, I'm asking you to disable VTP. So if you want to disable VTP, it is VTP transparent mode. Technically, when you do up to step number 14, the lab completed. But if time permits, what I will do, I will remove all the RSTP related commands and I will configure MST. So in the MST, what I will do, from the given VLANs, all the odd VLANs I'm going to put in instance 1, even VLANs I'm going to put in instance 2, and MST name I'm going to configure as mani-adv, and we are going to see some show commands. Guys, again, print this document, understand the diagram, draw the diagram, and look at what I'm doing and do the lab. So you can do this lab on a pod or any class pod environment, or you can do on some kind of a simulated environment. So I might be using either simulated environment or lab environment. So guys, let's go to the lab, my lab setup, and we will do this lab right now. So in order to do this lab, I have switch number 111, then I have switch number 222, then I have my R9. So R999 is internet. So let's go to enable mode here. And before even we do anything, let's look at some of the common commands and see what's the situation the switches are in. So on R9, if I type show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned, you will see I already gave the IP address to Ethernet 00 as 15.15.15.9 and loopback 0 as 1.3.3.4. So maybe if you want to do a lab like this, you can do this one pre-hand. So maybe your lab diagram and connections are not like this exactly, but you make sure you do a diagram as per your lab setup. In switch 1, I didn't configure anything, so I'm going to move this one up just to see more. In switch number 1, if I type show VLAN, that's a important command in Cisco switching. I'm seeing the default VLAN is 1. So VLAN 1 is default. By default, all the ports are in VLAN 1. And 1002 to 1005, they are called legacy VLAN. And there is no secondary VLAN right now. So that means there is no extended VLAN right now. And if I type show VTP status, so we are going to play with VTP also later. By default, just say it is on server mode. It supports only up to 1005 VLAN. And the name is not there. So by default, the domain name is null. There is no name. And there's a configuration revision number. Even though I didn't configure any VTP password, how do I know? If I type show VTP password, there is nothing. And if I will go to switch number 222 and do the same thing, show VTP status. Without even I configure anything, this became same. Just see 0BD, 0BC, and here also 0BD, 0BC. If it is a VTP server client environment, it should be the same. And I didn't configure any trunking, guys. If I type show interfaces trunk, just see by default, the ports are dynamic desirable. So it's negotiating automatic trunking by using negotiated ISL. And also look, by default at the end, you are seeing number 1, this is a native VLAN. So by default in Cisco iOS, native VLAN is also 1 and default VLAN is also 1. So guys, keeping this one in perspective, let's try to do the lab point at a time. So I'm going to hard code everything. Let's go to this diagram and let's read the section. So So I gave the name already, so number 1 is done. So I'm asking you to create a trunk between 111 and 222. First is always best to configure the trunk. So when I configure the trunk, I'm going to look at number 6. I'm going to allow VLAN 13, 14, 15, 666, and I'm going to make native VLAN 666. Guys, so again, number 1, number 2 and number 6 I'm going to do together. So let's do that one. So I'll go to switch 111, config T, interface range Ethernet 3/0-1, so 30 and 31, switch port trunk encapsulation .1q, switch port mode trunk. So these are the command to enable trunking. Now I want to do something. I have to say switch port trunk allowed VLAN. I'm telling you to allow from 13, 14, 15. So I can say 13 to 15, comma 66, comma 666. So basically what this command do, it allow VLAN number 13, 14, 15 and 666. And also there's a command called switch port trunk native VLAN. So my native VLAN has to be 666. That's what I'm asking. And also you have to type no shut. In the real exam or in the industry I type no shut. And also let's look at both the port. Do show run interface Ethernet 3/0 and also do show run interface Ethernet 3/1. So that means whatever command. So in the I'm telling the first command I type is switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. I'm telling, and also I'm typing the command. I'm hard coding to mode trunk. Then I am saying what are the, by default all the VLANs are allowed, but now I am saying only these VLANs are allowed. Just see guys, as soon as there's a, so other side I haven't configured, so there's a CDP is giving me native VLAN mismatch error. So I have to go to config other side also, do the same. Let's go to this switch and say I'm going to do something. I'm going to do lots of shortcut command. Interface range Ethernet 3/0 to 1. What I will do, I'll copy everything from here. So these are the commands I want to copy. I come to this switch, paste. When you do the lab, my advice is type, because you want to just type and get the hands on. So guys, what we did, we hard coded the trunk link. So before configuring VTP, my advice is to do this one. So if I type show interfaces trunk, just see, so I'll make it big. It tells me now mode is on. Before it was negotiate, encapsulation .1q, the native VLAN is 666, just see, and also I'm allowing only the VLAN. So this is the way to use hard code. Next one, let's go, even though I ask you to print and keep, I'm going to go through this one. Next one, I'm telling you to configure VTP. So I have to configure VTP. So that means VTP domain name is MANIADV and VTP password is the MANIADVANTAGE. And I'm telling VTP 222 is server. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's go to VTP 222. Let's configure VTP. So config T VTP domain MANIADV VTP password the MANIADVANTAGE. So you have to make sure you just type proper letters, and also VTP mode is server. If you type VTP question mark, it's going to give you all the information what you can type. Let's go to this switch and do the same. Config T VTP domain MANIADV. Normally you can do on a, you can type and you can copy and paste. That's the best thing. VTP password the MANIADVANTAGE. So MANI is capital, the advantage is small letters. And also here VTP mode is client. So how do I know now VTP? So first of all I configure trunk, then I configure the VTP. So what you have to understand is VTP run on trunk. So that's what we studied in the class, VTP run on trunk. So now let's type show VTP status on both the switches. If I type show VTP status, okay, now I'm seeing the MANIADV as a VTP domain name. How about here? Show VTP status. Okay, MANIADV. Look at the this numbers change. 4A F3. How about here? 4A F3. So this is what I want to do, guys. So when you see like this, it tells you that means the BTP is configured properly and it's running on the trunk. And this is a client. I haven't configured the VLAN yet. So if I type show VLAN, I don't see the new VLAN. If I try to create VLAN, if I say config T VLAN 12 or VLAN 13, is going to give me error message because I cannot configure VLAN on a trunk mode. So let's go and see what's our next one to do. I think number 4. In the number 4, I'm giving you some VLAN to configure. Okay, so we'll do number 4 and 5 right now. In number 4, I have to create the VLAN. So I'm going to create this VLAN on BTP's server switch. And also I'm going to associate the VLAN as per the diagram. So guys, diagram is important. Let's create the VLAN first. So this switch is a BTP server switch. So I'll go to config mode. I will type VLAN 13. Then I will type name MCCIE. Then I'll type exit. Then I'll type VLAN 14. Name MCCNP. Exit. VLAN 15. Name CCNA. I'm assuming I have CCIE students, CCNP students, and CCNA students. And also finally VLAN 666. Name native. I can say native VLAN. If I don't type the name, the system automatically puts some name. So that means I have created some VLAN. You had to always type exit to apply the VLAN configuration. If I type show VLAN, I should see the VLAN. So I'm seeing all the 4 VLANs. Just see there are no ports associated with the VLAN. And also look at here, you don't see 3031. By default, whatever ports are trunk port will not be displaying on the show VLAN configurations. So if I go to switch 111, it's the BTP show BTP status is a client switch. If I type show VLAN, if everything is proper, I should see the VLAN. Just see these are coming through the trunk link. So that means our BTP is good right now. So let's quickly go to the diagram. I want to show you the diagram. So next one I'm saying configure the ports to the VLAN. So let's keep this diagram handy, guys. So I'm going to take this. So if you cannot in the production, if the either you can take individual port. So how you take, if suppose if you can't take the, I'm going to use interface range command. So on switch number 222, I will say config T interface range Ethernet 1/0 to 1. In a good practice, you will type switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 13. I'm looking at the diagram here, so this port belongs to VLAN 13. Then I'm typing spanning tree port fast. So I'm telling this port has to be moved to forwarding state immediately, and also I will type no shut. It's giving me some kind of a message saying I should not, I have to be a bit careful. So I want to just verify the configuration. Show run interface Ethernet 1/0. The commands are there. Show run interface Ethernet 1/1. Always type show run to verify your configuration. So if they ask you to configure spanning tree port fast, you must configure spanning tree port fast. So let's take the other 2 interfaces. I'm going to take 11 and 13. So config T interface Ethernet interface range Ethernet 1/2 to 3. Switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 14. Spanning tree port fast. I know some students, they complain they cannot type interface range. In that case, do one at a time. This is a practice. So this lab, what I'm doing, is going to be a very good practice for you guys. You can watch a couple of times. If you go for interview, before interview, watch it. Just understand what is VLAN, VTP, trunking, and so on. Let's configure these 2 ports, guys, E20 and 21. So interface range Ethernet 2/0 to 1. Switch port. So switch port makes the port as a layer 2. Then switch port mode access make port part of one VLAN. Then switch port access VLAN. Finally, I had to put 15. Then spanning tree port fast. Then I'll type no shut. So let's see at least the last 2. Show run interface Ethernet 2/0. And also show run interface Ethernet 2/1. Guys, just see when the switch port command is not there. That means by default is a default command. So you're not seeing that one. So if I type show VLAN, I will see all the VLAN association on switch number 222. So this is one way of checking. Here CCIE, MCCIE has 2 ports, MCCNP has 2 ports, but this is a native VLAN. I didn't assign any port to a native VLAN, that's not the ask. And also these ports are taken out of default VLAN. And also we should not forget, guys, switch number 111 also has 1 port, Ethernet 33. So let's go to switch number 111. Let's go to config T interface Ethernet 3/3 switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 15. And guys, for whatever reason, I think this interface is no shot, but let's try that one. Show IP interface brief. I won't know if 3 and 33 is up. Yeah, 33 is up here. So if I want to know what's the IP address, just say if I configure the IP address on Ethernet 00, if I don't have access, I can type a command. If I type show CDP neighbor, it's going to say the R33 internet, my interface is Ethernet 33, other interface is Ethernet 00. If I type a detail keyword, it's going to give me the IP address of router 999. Just see 15.15.15.9. So my default gateway must be, if I want to configure any default gateway, it must be 15.15.15.9 because that's the internet. So guys, we have done lots of work. Let's keep on go to the questions and see what. So we are halfway through, guys. So I created number 4, then I created number 5, then we have to go to, I think number 6 we already done. Okay, now I'm telling you to type some show commands and verify the status. Okay, then we'll do 8 and 9. Okay, so for example, as I said, let's do some basic command one more time. Show VLAN. That's a very basic command. It tells me the default VLAN is 1, and in this one only 33 is assigned to MCCNA, and it's showing me all the defined VLAN, and also it's giving me like there is no secondary VLAN, special type of VLAN. Then another command is show VTP question mark. I can say show VTP counters. So these are the one that they are called summary advertisement, subset advertisement, advertisement request from client. So because you know about this one, since it is VTP server client mode, if I type show VTP status, just see the configuration revision number, it is 4. So configuration revision number cannot be 0 for VTP server client, it must be more than 0. I didn't check initially, we should have checked initially what's the configuration revision number. As I create VLAN, as I delete VLAN, the number is going to increase. And also for VTP server client, this MD5 digest has to be same. It is nothing about password, but it is about hashing. And if I want to see if I have configured a password, the command is show VTP password. So you are seeing the password is the MANIADVANTAGE. If I go to switch 222, also if I type show VTP password, it must be exactly same, the MANIADVANTAGE. And also guys, now let's see the other one. I am saying create a SVI port VLAN 15. So I'm going to create an interface VLAN 15 with IP address of 15.15, this one. And also I'm going to define a default gateway of 15.15.15.9. So if everything is good, once I create, I should be able to ping 15.15.9. And also technically, I should be able to ping 1.2.3.4. I haven't done that one before, the guys. So we are going to try this one now. So I have to do this one on switch number 222. So that's the switch number 222 is on the right mode side. So let's go here. So on switch number 222, I'm going to go to config T. The command is IP. So first of all, do show VLAN. I had to make sure I have a layer 2 VLAN. So I have a layer 2 VLAN. Then what I will do, interface VLAN 15. Then I'll type the IP address 15.15.15.222. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. always you must type no shutdown command. So no shutdown command enable the VLAN. Now the VLAN has to be up. Let's see that one. Show IP interface brief. Maybe in a lab exam this command might be not supported, but if you're in a production is going to see. So that means I have a layer 3 interface VLAN 15. So that means this interface become my SDI port. So, and also now I have to define a default gateway. So let's define the default gateway. IP default gateway, because I'm not running any routing. I'm not typing IP routing command. IP default gateway is 15.15.15.9. So I'm telling for this one, this switch, the default gateway is 15.15.15.9. So what I have to be very careful here. So I have a VLAN 15 members, so there are no members, but I have defined a layer 3 interface called VLAN 15. And in order for this to work, I should make sure this port, if I didn't configure 3.3 as VLAN 15, this will never work. So you have to make sure you configure 3.3 for VLAN 15, this port, and also you have to make sure you have created. So right now let's do a ping and see. Okay, so I'll make this one small. I'm on switch 222 right now. Ping 15.15.15.9. We are pinging. Now can we ping 1.2.3.4? Okay, so there is no routing going on, so I could not ping 1.2.3.4, but I was able to ping 15.15.15.9. So guys, what I want to do here, I'll try to do something else here. I'll type IP routing and just see whether I can now ping. Okay, same thing. So I thought when you type IP routing it will work. So let's go to this R999. Let's enable some special commands. So line VTY 0 to 4, no login, privilege level 15. This allow me to telnet directly. So let's go to switch 222, try to telnet 15.15.15.9 and see if I can telnet to the switch. Yeah, I'm on the router. Just see, from switch 2 I'm on the router. So that means I have IP connectivity. So let's go back to R19, show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. Yeah, I have 1.2.3.4. For whatever reason I'm unable to reach 1.2.3.4, but I'm able to reach R9. Let's go to switch 222 and look at the routing table. Show IP route. Oh, there is no default route actually, but I think the command show run include default IP default gateway 15.15.15.9. So guys, this is one way of defining. Other one is IP route. I'm not going to do that one, but if I type IP route 000, it should work. Let's try that one, then we'll remove that command. IP route 0.0.0.0.0.0.0 15.15.15.9. So what I'm doing right now, I have both the commands. I'm hard coding the routing table. If I type show IP route, now I'm seeing the default route. Now I think I should be able to ping 1.2.3.4. Yeah, I'm pinging, and also if I do telnet 1.2.3.4, I'm in. So I'm going to exit. So I don't want to keep both the commands. I'm going to remove one of the commands. So in CCNA way of doing a default gateway for layer 2 switches, so I'm going to type these two commands so I'm going to remove the second command what I gave, and I'm going to give. So that means my idea is only to go to 15.15.15.1, nothing else. So now the switch is pure layer 2 switch, but still I have the connectivity to ping 15.15.15.9. Okay guys, so we spent some time on this one about the routing part. So let's go further. I think we are progressing. So now RSTP protocol. I'm telling you to configure. So number 10 is I'm saying switch number. I have to create RSTP on both the switches. I have to make sure switch 111 is the root for all the 3 VLANs. So 111. So let's go to 111. config T, spanning tree mode. If I put a question mark, I type rapid PVST. Here also I type config T, spanning tree mode, rapid PVST. And on this one I'm saying switch 1 has to be the root. So I'm going to say spanning tree VLAN. So read the questions very carefully. It must be root for only these 4 VLAN, otherwise I can put, so I'm going to clearly going to say 13 to 15, comma 666, priority 0. So there's a command called priority 0. So I'm going to come to switch number 2. I'm going to copy this one. So guys, you better type, don't do like me. So I'll come to this switch. If I put a question mark, it says priority should be in the incremental of 4096. So I'm going to type here 4096. So that means even if I add any other VLAN in the future, switch 1 is the, so guys, now who is the root now? Technically root is switch number 111. So where is the blocking port should be? It should be on switch number 222. Let's see this. So right now I have 2 trunk links, because if I type show interfaces trunk, I have 2 trunk links, and let's see which is the blocking. Show spanning tree VLAN 15. Here by default, look at the trunk port. Out of these 2 trunk ports, 30 is root and this one is blocking. So we are going to change the behavior. By default, the lowest number. So that means lowest number from the root is, so root also 30. So that's why this 30 is blocked. This is forwarding. So we are going to change the behavior. And this is very important, guys. It's telling me spanning tree protocol is RSTP. It's telling me lots of other information, telling about the BPDU timers, hello timer, max age timer, forward delay time, and so on. And also there's a command called show spanning tree summary. It tells you it tells you you're running rapid PVST mode. So right now I'm running rapid PVST mode. So number 10 is done. Number 11. Okay, now I want to change the behavior. If I go to switch number, if I go to switch number 111 right now, that's a root. If I type show spanning tree VLAN 15, I will say both ports as designated forwarding. Look at 3031, they both are designated forwarding. So that means on the root there is no block port. So right now root is switch number 111. Look at the priority. Priority is nothing but 0 plus the VLAN number. So that's the way it works. By default, if I don't define anything, the priority will be 32,767. Okay guys, so right now let's keep on continue. We have to keep the momentum up. So we have to configure switch 222 only. We have to, so right now block port is 31, but we are going to make block port to forwarding port. So let's go to switch number 222. Okay, show spanning tree VLAN 15. I want to change the behavior. So what I will do, what's the cost? By default right now cost is 100. I can do things. So I'm going to play with 30 only. I will just increase the cost more than 100. Maybe just say we want to increase to maybe 109. Okay, for whatever reason. Okay, or 101, whatever. Like, so what we will do, interface Ethernet 3.0 spanning tree VLAN 15, cost anything more than 100. Let's type 109 as I said. So right now automatically 30 will be block port and 31 will be, so I'm making a local decision. That means on a switch where you have a blocking port and root port, you can play with cost. Very important concept, guys. Show spanning tree VLAN 15. Just see 30 became, it's very fast. 30 became block port and 31 became root forward. Now I want to change this one back, so I will revert the changes. So how do I revert? Interface Ethernet 3/0 up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. I will remove this command. Control A, no. So that means if I do, 30 should become root port. Here 30 become root port. So that's about this particular number 11 says. Number 12 says basically remove the command. We remove the command. Now you have to configure switch number 111. That's a root switch. You have to achieve the same results. Okay. So guys, again, right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the port priority on switch number 111. Okay. So what I will do, I'll go to interface Ethernet 3/0, spanning tree VLAN 15, port priority. It has to be, okay, by default 128. I have to, so what is if I add 64, 128 plus 64, it becomes 192. So depending on the iOS model, it could be increment of 16 or increment of 15. To see the results, I have to come to the wherever I have a block port. So I want to make sure now this goes to block, this goes to forwarding, but I did the changes on switch 1. That's a key beauty here, guys. So if I type this command, just see, this became block port, this became forwarding port. The thing is, you're not seeing the priority here because priority, you did the changes on switch number 111. If you want to see the priority, show spanning tree interface Ethernet 3/0 detail. That's a command. So I had to go for VLAN 15. Here, this is VLAN 15. Here you are seeing 192. So this 192 is coming from other side. So for Ethernet 3.0 VLAN 15. So guys, again, one more time, we'll type show spanning tree VLAN 15. So to make block here, I didn't configure switch number 222. I was configuring switch number 111. Let's remove the command and bring back to normal. Up arrow, Control A, type no, and remove the commands. Now it should be back to normal. What is normal? 3.0 should be root forwarding. This should be blocking. Guys, my advice here, it became, so just see, if I go up, you will see the previous one and the now one. Previous one is block forwarding. Okay, previous one is blocking and forwarding. Now it became root and blocking. So guys, again, very important concepts. I think we have done the major concepts. So now finally I have to bundle together. So I'm going to bundle together. I'm going to give you a best practice in the production also, in the production, or if you want to do any further studies or in lab environment, CCIE environment, do the best practice. So in this case, I want to combine both the links with the LACP bundle. So when I do the bundling, there won't be no block port. So that's a keyword, okay? And also I want to make sure switch 111 is initiating. So LACP active on switch 1. So let's do switch 111, guys. Then we'll do switch 222. I'll go back to my secure CRT. So switch 111 is LACP active. So let's go back through here. We removed all the commands. So right now, do show interface trunk. Okay. And also, if I go to do show spanning tree VLAN 15. So I have two ports for spanning tree 3031. After I do ether channel, you will see it's gone. So let's go to, I think switch number 111 is LACP active. So I'll say interface Ethernet 3/0. I'm sorry, I'm going to say interface range Ethernet 3/0 to 1. Channel protocol LACP. So the best command is the channel protocol LACP. Then channel group. I can type, maybe I can type 1. So you can type a bigger number. So some people ask me, what's the number you can type? You can type this model, you can type 1 to 255. I'll type channel group number 1, mode. Because I type LACP, I must type either active or passive. So I'm going to type because active here. I'm going to get a message saying it's creating a port channel 1. So let's do this one here also. Let's go here and config T, interface range Ethernet 3/0 to 1. Channel protocol LACP, channel group 1 mode. Now it should be passive. One is active, other one is passive. Right now, guys, I'm going to give you another important command now. If I type show run interface Ethernet 3/0, Just see, these are the additional commands. So what we have to do now, we have to go to our port channel, and whatever commands you see here, you have to type on the port channel. That's the best practice. Some new iOS it inherits, otherwise no. So let's type show IP interface brief. Here there's a command called port channel. Let's go to that interface. Interface port channel 1. Even better, show run interface port channel 1. Show run interface port channel 1. I type do show run interface port channel 1. I have to go to that one. Okay, in this case is there. Just see, like these commands, because this is a new iOS, all the commands are there. If the commands are not there whenever you do any simulation environment, you make sure you copy the command. So basically what you have to do show run interface ethernet 3/0. So except these commands, except this last two commands, whatever command you see here has to be on the port channel also. So I'm sure this one also took care of the same thing. Show run interface port channel 1. Yeah, so this is good. I think this is a good iOS. So you are seeing everything is ported. So how do you verify now? So there's a command called show ether channel summary. You see, it says is port channel 1. It is SU, so you can see what is S and U. It's not small s, it's a capital S. It's a layer 2 because I'm not doing any layer 3. U is, then there's a capital U is up. And also guys, it's very powerful. So how do you know? There's another command, show interfaces trunk. You will not see two more ports. You'll be seeing only one port. You are seeing only what? PO1, because it's now bundled. And also spanning tree. We know before this guy is a root. Show spanning tree VLAN 15. You see it's PO1, that's designated forwarding. If I go to switch 2, there won't be no block port. It will be root forwarding. Show spanning tree VLAN 15. Guys, don't hesitate, try the commands. I think this is a very good. So I'm not giving you any answers. If you watch the video a couple of times again and again, you'll get the feel. And just before you any interview, just type these commands and just watch the video, so you'll be getting, and I'm pretty sure it's going to give you strong CCNA and CCNP level foundation, and it's going to set foot for your CCIE foundation also. And also the number 14, I'm asking you to disable VTP. Okay, so the hint is VTP transparent mode. So let's go to the switches and type show VTP interface. It tells me all these ports are VTP enabled. Just see, I cannot disable on a VTP on a interface show VTP interface. So you should know, if you want to disable VTP on a VTP version 1 or VTP version 2, what I'm going. And also before I do anything, show VTP status. Look at the configuration revision number is 4. I'll make it big a little bit here. Okay, show VTP status. What I'm going to do, I'm going to type a command VTP mode transparent, and I'll go to switch 2 and also type VTP mode config T VTP mode transparent. Okay, when I type VTP mode transparent, so right now let's check the VTP status. Show VTP status. Look at it, went to transparent mode. The MD5 digest is different. They don't have to match, but if it is matching, we don't care. Show VTP status. I think it's matching. So most of the time it matches, but the important thing is the configuration revision number is 0. And also if I type show VTP interface, okay, so I think this is enabling VTP for, I'm disabling VTP on the switch. So when you disable VTP, but on the interface it shows as enabled. Maybe it's a bug on this particular version. Okay guys, so that's done. Okay, so transparent mode, disable the VTP. Finally, I won't even go through the last one. I said if time permits. I think before I want to say good luck for you guys. I'm going to just do this one. So I'm saying odd VLANs in instance 1. So let's go to the switches. How many VLANs I have? Show VLAN. I'm not going to worry about 1. I created 13, 14, 15. So there are, for me, I created 2 VLANs, 2 odd VLANs and 2 even VLANs. So what I'm saying right now, all the odd VLANs should be in instance 1. So let's create the spanning tree. So spanning tree MST configuration. So that's a command. Then the best practice is I'm going to type name. The name is nothing but Mani. If you look at this one, Mani ADV, that's what I'm asking. Then revision. Revision can be from any number. Maybe I can type 1. I can type even 0 also. And also instance 1 VLAN. So instance 1 should be odd VLANs. What are the odd VLANs, guys? 13, 15. Then instance 2 VLAN 14, 666. So I have defined 2 VLANs only. So I'm going to type a command call because I want to configure the switch also. I'm going to type show pending. So this command is allowing show pending. So these are the commands I typed. Okay, just see, you can see. And also I'm going to type exit show spanning tree MST configurations. Show run. Let's type show run. Okay, so I know exactly what to type, but just see, still I didn't change the mode. So I'll copy this one. I'll come to switch number 111, config T, copy and paste. So still, if I type exit show spanning tree summary, it should say I'm still running rapid PVST. Yeah. Now finally, if I want to enable that feature, I'm going to say spanning tree mode MST. I'll go to switch number 222 and type config T spanning tree mode MST. So basically whatever command I type is no more good, because this command I type for RSTP. If I want, I can go and change it, but right now if I type show spanning tree summary, I'm running multiple spanning tree protocol because MST mode. And also show spanning tree VLAN 1, just see the cost is increased by 6 zeros, 200, 2000, so basically 2 million. So that's the behavior of MST. Guys, remember right now I have a region. The region has 2 switches, switch number 111 and switch number 222. So whenever I have more than 1 switches in a common spanning tree configuration, it is called a region. So the command wise, I can type show spanning tree MST configuration, and also I can type show spanning tree VLAN 15. Just see what's going to happen. It says right now it is part of instance MST instance 1 here, instance 1, 15 is instance 1. And if I type show spanning tree 666, it's going to say it's part of MSTI 2. If I type whatever non-VLAN, just say if I type 99, it should be MSTI 0. Yeah, that's MSTI 0. Even though Cisco recommend not to put any VLAN on MSTI 0. Guys, before we finish this class, we'll try to again see our final configuration, show. So I want to make a fresh configuration for you guys. So you can see my introduction and also show run. Guys, look, I want to show you another one. Just see the advantage of VLAN VTP transparent. So the VLAN, whatever configured VLAN will show in the running configuration. That's the beauty of VTP transparent mode. VTP server client, it will not. Here you have interface port channel 1. Then I have, so you have to understand about this command spanning tree port fast. So it's a very good lab, guys. So it's not a heavy layer 3 lab. I think we have done that one in the class. So finally, I want to just still do from here, do a ping to my gateway, that is 15.15.15.9. I'm pinging. I want to telnet 15.15.15.9. I'm to the internet gateway. I'll better exit. Finally, guys, good luck in your Cisco studies by Manny, your expert instructor. Okay, again, good luck guys. Again, talk to you guys soon, and hopefully you guys enjoy the class.